We're prepared for takeoff.
BeyondATC connected.
Edinburgh Airport information, Quebec 1100 Zulu.
You have information, November.
Visibility, Niner. Sky condition, ceiling 1000.
Edinburgh Airport information, November. 1148 Zulu. Wind 050 at 4 ceiling 700 overcast. Temperature 13. Dew point 11. QNH1019er. Landing and departing runway 06. Transition level 060. Advise on initial contact. You have information, November. Edinburgh Airport information, November. 1148 Zulu. Wind 050 at 4 ceiling 700 overcast. Temperature 13. Dew
Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Request IFR clearance to Sumburgh Airport.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike, Edinburgh ground. Expect runway 06, break for Delta departure. Squawk 62 for tree.
Brick 4 Delta departure. Squawk 6243. Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
We'll call back when ready for push and start. Yeah, my microphone was muted. So many little things to watch out for. Okay, so what was our squawk? 6243, so we'll get that input. No. 623. Just turn off the Okay, there's our squawk in. Close the cargo door now. And we'll plan our pushback. So that's the taxiway line there. We'll take that. Can connect the tug.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground, stand by.
Showing the wrong screen. Okay, that's better. Wish it was a way of seeing easily what you are actually broadcasting. Anyway, right. So we will do our before propeller rotation checklist. Zoom in so you can see that. Cockpit door locking system is on. FMS and takeoff data is set. Trims set. Okay, getting our elevator trim set. Tail props on board. Doors are closed. Seat belts on. Beacon is on. That's before rotation checklist complete. And we can now call for Edinburgh ground, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, request push and start.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike, Edinburgh ground, pushback approved. Face southwest.
Pushback approved, face southwest, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, so we've got our pushback approval. We can start the pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. Please start the engines in sequence.
Okay, so
Yeah, we'll
what
start
we'll
in the
do
sequence.
first of all is release the prop brake, and we have rotation. And we will start engine number 2 now. Engine number 1, I should say, starting. NH10, condition lever to feather. We have ignition, ITT rising.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir, cleared to disconnect.
Okay. So we've got both engines started in feather. I'll bring condition lever 1 to auto. Single channel. This will give me hydraulics. Low pitch. And condition lever 1 to auto. Single channel. Low pitch. Okay. Ready for taxi. Taxi lights are on. Edinburgh ground, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, ready for taxi, runway 06.
Aircraft calling for taxi instruction. Say call sign.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Runway 06 taxi via Foxtrot. Echo Alpha.
Runway 06, taxi via Foxtrot, Echo Alpha, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, just before checklist, before taxi checklist, flight warning system, recall pressed, nothing brought up, cockpit comm hatch is closed, conditional levers 1 and 2 are in auto, anti-icing as required, none required. Our transformer rectifier unit should now be on. I'm going to check that. Why is that not? Okay. Oh, I know what this is. Yep. If your throttles aren't quite in a ground idle, then it gives you a low pressure warning and various things won't happen, like you can't put your TRU on, Anti-skid test completed. Flaps 15. Nose wheel steering check on. It is on. Okay, that's us ready for our taxi. Bring the parking brake off. So it was Foxtrot Echo Delta. This is Echo just coming up. See, the Twitch bots are out in force this morning. Take the Bravo intersection departure. ActiveSky does a much better job of rendering overcasts. As you can see, we've got a proper overcast. I'm presuming that's Bravo. No, it's not a taxiway. Yeah, no, that was just a road. This is Bravo coming up here. But we've been given Alpha. I'm not quite sure how, if I went for the intersection departure without having had that clearance from ATC, how BeyondATC would respond. I'd probably get confused, get stuck. So I'll just carry on down to Alpha. Taxi checklist, taxi and takeoff flights are on, brakes were tested, flight guidance, control panel and FMA checked, takeoff config test, which appears down in this little corner here when you do it.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Okay.
Contact Edinburgh Tower 118.705. Bye-bye.
Edinburgh Tower on 118.075, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. sure I got that right.
Negative. Tower on 118.705.
Tower on 118.705. Okay, we'll just get ourselves set up for departure. So our gust lock is coming off. Probe heats are going on. Strobes and takeoff lights are on. And our before takeoff checklist. So we'll be taking off runway 06 and the Grice for departure. Gust lock is off, flight controls, we'll check. Flight controls checked. Transponder is squawking. And it is squawking the right frequency. Boost function not required, airflow. Okay, and airflow is good. Engine bleed is good. Cabin crew's advised. External lights are on, and we will center the heading book when we get lined up on the runway, and we have no amber lights. Okay. Rudder cam, well, I still don't quite know what that means. Okay, before takeoff checklist complete. So Edinburgh Tower, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, ready for departure, runway 06.
Aircraft calling for departure. Say call sign.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Aircraft calling for departure. Say call sign.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike, Edinburgh Tower, wind 050 at 4, runway 06, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 06, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. So we'll just taxi on, get lined up, press the heading bug, keep the foot brakes on, get into notch power, and we're rotating it at 111. Okay, heading book synced. I'll just check so we've got heading select, IAS 170 magenta, LNAV's armed. Okay, that all looks good. Condition levers are in auto, gust lock is off, parking brake is off. Flaps are set, trims are set. Okay, push the stick forward, keep the toe brakes on, advance the power levers till we're in the notch. Wind is coming slightly from the left, so put a touch of aileron in. That's okay, we're in the notch. At least using the toe brakes. Airspeed's alive. 70 knots. V1 rotate. Okay. Positive brake, gear up. Yaw damper on.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Contact Edinburgh departure 128.908.
Edinburgh departure on 128.908, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, so flaps up. Climbing speed set. Autopilot on. Climbing into this fog very quickly. Edinburgh depart.
Aircraft calling. Request not understood.
Try again. Edinburgh departure, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, passing 2,200. Grace for departure.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Edinburgh departure. Identified. Climb to flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, that is 10,000 selected, but what I need to do is now select standard barometer, so that's flight level 100 selected. So we have LNAV, IAS, 170 magenta, autopilot on 10,000, flight 100 selected. Well, I'm supposed to be turning at the moment. Oh dear, this aircraft is buggy. Okay, so we're gonna go into heading mode. Heading select, and we selected 300, so it'll take us on our left turn. Towards D46. And what I'm going to do is I'll do a direct to next waypoint. The next waypoint is giving me right, sub 946. I won't do that. I'll just carry on flying it on heading select mode until we are, yeah, so nav 1 will set that to the Tala VOR. And our intercept leg is when that is on a radial of 347. Anyway, after landing, checklist. Landing gears up, flaps are up, power management is in climb. Engine bleed is on, taxi and takeoff lights can go off. Altimeters set to standard. Pretty solid base. Yeah, not much cover in that at all. Not many holes in that at all.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike, contact Scottish Control 119.875.
Scottish Control on 119.875, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Scottish Centre, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, passing flight level 76 for flight level 100.
Aircraft calling. Say call sign.
Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Scottish Control. Radar contact. Climb to flight level 170.
Climb flight level 170, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. So being cleared up to our cruising altitude, so I will select flight level 170. Flight level 170 is selected, and we'll just carry on climbing up. We're still in heading select mode. Because I don't really trust the FMC, the autopilot I should say. So this is on our intercept leg. Now I could do a direct to Grice at this point and put LNAV on again. Get rid of the yoke so I can actually see what I'm doing. Grice. Okay, direct to Grice. Execute that. Nav can go on. So just find with this when it's getting a little bit turned around on itself and it's
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger
Landing
portable
lights can go
electronic
off.
devices. This is also a
Seatbelt
reminder to
signs can
please
go
keep
off.
your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the
Yeah, when
left
it's
door.
getting a little bit making these big maneuvers because it's trying to get itself back on track, rather than doing that, just do a direct to, and then it doesn't have to. You're already on your new track because it's a direct, and that should save some of the violent maneuvering that the autopilot can do. Okay, that is us coming on to our track nicely. Just see where we are on the chart. Hopefully you can see that. That's us just coming up to Grace there, and then we'll be picking up our en route waypoints. Turn off the seatbelts in PACX as well.
I've turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can cannot let up a move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
Might just see some of the higher mountain tops poking out through this cloud base, this cloud layer. There's one over there. Some over there as well. Not sure which ones they are. Okay, so just keep an eye on everything. So we have LNAV IS 170 magenta, flight level 170 set. Findo is our next waypoint. Just check all the systems. Electrical systems are good, and hydraulics is good. Fuel and engines are good. Okay, our pressurization rates are good, and we've got good air supply, and there's our electrical system. Okay. Systems are looking good. Might be better weather up at Sumburgh. No guarantee. Yeah, it might be. I'm just looking at the cloud on ActiveSky. Hopefully you can see that. We're here, and it's pretty thick cloud cover down here, but it's showing a little bit of, it's a little bit more open up over the Shetlands, so maybe not so bad. Hello, my face pad. Thank you for saying welcome back. What do I think of BeyondATC as a trainer for VATSIM? I actually think it's a pretty good trainer. I mean, if you just want to get used to saying the words and not getting tongue-tied, and just the general flow, it's pretty good. The exact procedures are going to be different, but I think for most people it is just getting used to, for IFR, just being able to get your ear in to hear all those instructions and remember them in the order that they came, and likewise with frequencies and things like that, just getting your ear in. So I think it's pretty good for that. If you want the whole, you know, to go another level, then I guess say intentions is pretty good. I've not tried it yet though, it's a bit expensive, but I will give it a go at some point. I mean, I'm able to use BeyondATC pretty nicely. I kind of know what's coming up. I'm able to get a pretty high rate of recognition with what I say to it, but that's probably because I did a lot of flying on VATSIM. And apparently, according to one of my channel commentators, I sound like a commercial airliner pilot, so it's got to help. Okay, we've got about 3,000 to go to we are at cruise. It's not the fastest climber, the ATR. I do actually have to fly on Logan Air ATR-72s quite regularly and see if there's a strong headwind. Oh my god, it takes so long to get back to Inverness compared to the jets. I preferred the E145s. I'm talking about real life there. Okay, so we're coming up on our cruise. 500 to go. Pretty certain that's the Cairngorms over there that you can see. In fact, I'm sure of it. That'll be Ben McDowie with Devil's Point on the other side, or maybe that's Cairntoul. Yeah, just an odd hole in the cloud. This is North Sea Har, which has definitely been plaguing the east coast of Scotland the last few days. I was in Inverness yesterday and it was really sunny 30 miles away, but when you headed down to the coast it was pretty grey and it wasn't raining or anything like that, but it just was a lot less nice than it was further inland. Okay, that's our cruise altitude captured, so there's not a lot you have to do once you get into the cruise, but we put the power management onto cruise.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks.
And we can put our TCAS
Premium drinks are available for a small charge.
onto
If you wish to
normal.
make an additional purchase, please note that we only
The weather
accept
radar
credit
is off, I'm going to leave it off. Don't think I need it. Not sure it works very well anyway. Let's get the progress page up. So, top of descent in an hour and 2 minutes, 158 nautical miles, but we'll hit the time acceleration button, which is one advantage over VATSIM. Slightly alarming looking at it from the outside, and you see it looks like one propeller is spinning faster than the other. So the background chatter is from an app called PACX, which is a sort of a passenger simulator. It's an add-on software. It's okay. I mean, it just gives that a little bit more immersion, so it will link in with your SimBrief flight plans. You'll know how many passengers you've got, you can set your departure time, and basically you get a satisfaction rating from the passengers based on if you're on time, and how you handle the aircraft, and if you crash it into the runway they're not very happy, and it just gives an extra little bit of immersion. I think I can put Aberdeen onto my VOR 114.3 for Aberdeen. So the ATR does have auto tuning if you tick these boxes here, it will automatically tune the VOR. But I find it often seems to not tune the VOR that you want. I don't know why, so I prefer to stick the manual. And also, I'm not quite sure as well when you're doing an ILS approach if that auto-tuning could interfere with your ILS frequency, because I don't think it's not like the CJ4 or some of the other aircraft where as soon as you program the approach into your FMC, it will pre-select the correct frequency. You've got to do all that manually in the ATR, both frequency and the localizer course. Well, there's not a lot of wind around, that's for sure. We're up at here at 17,000 feet, and we've only got 6 knots of wind coming from the east. That's good news. Doesn't look like we're going to get to see anything of Scotland very much. It's this cloud layer, just the odd mountain, some more mountain showing through. Yeah, that has to be the Cairngorms over there. And that'll be the Glendall Hills. Okay, well, I can hit the bit of time acceleration now. Put it up to sim rate 4. Welcome if you're just joining the stream. Viewer numbers according to this thing sort of jump around quite a bit. Just taking the ATR-72 from Edinburgh to Sumburgh in the Shetlands. You can see the route on SimBrief, Navigraph. I'll quickly show that up. So we're here, we're just coming up towards Aberdeen. We'll pass over the Aberdeen VOR and then to PACX, and then it's a direct flight up towards Sumburgh. Don't know what approach I'll get at Sumburgh yet. We'll see what ATC gives me.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Expect radar vectors. RNAV runway 09er. Report ready for descent.
Well, I'm not sure why it's giving me that. A very long way away. Expect radar vectors. RNAV 09er will report when ready for descent.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Fly present heading. Descent to flight level 100. Sumburgh Airport landing runway 09er.
Descent flight level 100. Landing 09er. Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to start my descent now. That's far too early. I don't think that'll matter in BeyondATC. It won't get upset with me because I haven't started my descent when it told me to.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Turn left. Heading 355. Vectors to the approach.
No, I'm in a ATR-72. I don't think there is a decent Dash 8 in the Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. Anyway, what was that from ATC?
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Turn left. Heading 355. Vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 355. Vectors for the approach. Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Ah, thank you very much.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Descend to flight level 090.
Descend flight level 090, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Yeah, he's definitely needs a bit of work, this BeyondATC. I don't know if it was something I did, but you know, giving me a descent now. I mean, I've still got 68 nautical miles to top of descent. Sumburgh is 118 nautical miles. You can see that on the progress page here. So yeah, a little bit too far. But I will go on to the heading that he gave me, which was 355. So we're in heading select mode and heading of 355 selected. I'll buy myself a little bit of time though, because I'm going to start programming the FMC for the approach. So I will reduce the time acceleration back down to normal. Okay, what did we get? We got the RNAV. Was it the RNAV Yankee? Yeah, expect radar vectors RNAV 09er. Well, it's not a Yankee or anything like that. Okay, so just going to pull up the chart for that. Okay, I'll switch the screen across to Navigraph so you can see what I'm looking at. So here's Sumburgh here. Here are all the different approaches. I want the RNAV 09er. I'm coming from the south, so I'll take the octet transition. So octet, I'll add that to my route. And that then brings up the chart. So here's the chart. So I'll get the ATIS in a minute. RNAV, final approach course 084, altitude 2,100 feet, decision altitude 630 feet, airport's at 21 feet, runway at 20. Missed approach, continuous climb to 3000, initially climb straight ahead to PM01, then right to PM02, turn right to PM03, right there, yeah, so you fly in a box basically. Okay, max 185 knots. RMP approach, transition altitude 6000, high terrain obstacles, final approach areas, do not descend below procedure minimum. Okay, so at TSEV, which is the initial fix, octet will be our initial approach fix. TSEV going to be the IF, we're going to be at 2100 feet, and then at PB09 Foxtrot, and we'll start our descent at 3-degree glide path. Missed approaches, point is runway threshold, and it's an LNAV approach. Decision height is going to be 630 feet. How long is left on the flight? Well, depending on how much time acceleration I use, maybe 30 minutes or so. But anyway, so I'm going to put in my decision height, decision altitude I should say, 630 feet. Cool. Right, okay, that's in. And on the FMC, go to flight plan, select Sumburgh, and we're looking for the RNAV 09er. It's not giving me a transition. Ah, there we go, octet, execute that. We've got a discontinuity, so we'll clear that, execute that. Right, we'll just make sure that that got programmed in correctly, so
Aircraft calling. Request not understood.
yeah, okay, we'll ignore that. So we have octet to save. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to do a direct to now, octet, tidy that up. That's better. So, yeah. Cloud's starting to break a little bit. Let's tune the ATIS at Sumburgh, which is 125.855. Tune that on COM2. So in the cockpit we do that 125.855.
One 000 broken. Temperature 12. Dew point 09er. QNH1020. Ceiling 800 broken. Landing and departing runways 06, 09er, 15. Transition level 060. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie. Sumburgh Airport information, Charlie. 1202 Zulu. Wind 120 at 5 few clouds at 800. 1000 broken. Temperature 12. Dew point 09er. QNH1020. Ceiling 800 broken. Landing and departing runways 06, 09er, 15. Transition level 060. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie. Sumburgh Airport information, Charlie. 1202 Zulu. Wind 120 at 5 few clouds at 800.
Okay, that is got our information, Charlie, for Sumburgh. I'll just answer your question in a second. What's my favourite commercial plane? Well, I don't often fly a lot of like tube liners, and I've got the 737, the PMDG one, and it's excellent. I've never flown the A320. I'm enjoying this a lot at the minute, despite its bugs. I think I like things with turboprops in them. But the 737 is really good. I did do a lot of flying in that when it first came out. I mean, I love the 747, and it'd be great when there's a proper one. I'll start my descent now. So it's flight level 090. And we'll descend in IAS mode. I don't trust VNAV on this aircraft. So we'll hit IAS. And we'll just confirm. So we've got 238 magenta, IAS selected, and they're starting to go down. Yeah, that cloud definitely breaking. Still a ceiling at Sumburgh. So we'll let the plane accelerate up to the selected speed, 238. And then when we hit that speed, it'll reduce the rate of descent a little bit. Now we're on that speed, so we're just descending at 700 feet per minute, which is pretty slow. And you can see it has us at flight level 090 all the way up there, so that's a bit too slow a rate of descent. So we'll just pull back on the throttles, so the power levels a little bit, and that'll increase the rate of descent as the aircraft pitches forward to maintain that speed. Be interesting to see the 777 when it comes out. Again, I mean, long haul. Is ActiveSky worth it? I'm going to say yes. I mean, I find the Asobo weather system pretty good, and particularly good if the weather is poor, and like, you know, you've got, you know, a lot of rain or whatever in the forecast. It could do a really good job, but I just found it for more ordinary weather conditions, it was really repetitive. It was always just the same sort of few cumulus cloud. There were never any kind of layers. Very rarely would you get an overcast, even if that was actually forecast, and it just found it kind of boring. And I've really enjoyed ActiveSky. It's not perfect by any means, but it's made it a more enjoyable. It made me enjoy the sim again. So we did get a wind from the ATIS chart information Charlie, which was wind of 120 at 5. So I'm gonna pop that in now. So our VAP, well, same as what we took off of. Transition level is 060. No, better put in 6,000 feet, and QNH is 1020. I'm not sure if this makes any difference at all. Yeah, this is just descending slowly in. Certainly taking us quite far to the west. If I flip screens quickly, you can see we're down here. We've got the Orkney Islands off to our west. There's our initial approach fix of Octet there. And it's taking us on this track all the way out here. So at 10,000 it'll be seatbelts on and landing lights on. Go through our descent checklist now. which normally it brings up automatically, but I think you have to reach top of descent for it to do that. So our descent checklist is flight warning system recall pressed, nothing shown. Landing elevation 0 feet. Well, it's not quite 0, but if you remember from the chart, it was about 20 feet. So that's checked. Ah, there you go. It just went zeroed it because that was it automatically bringing up the checklist as I passed top of descent. Landing elevations checked, FMS nav and performance is done, decision height is, or MDA is set, and arrival briefing we need to perform. So just brief the arrival. So we're coming into Sumburgh on the RNAV 09er with the octet initial approach fix. We need to be at 2100 feet by TSEV, and we'll be turning to a final approach course of 084. At Sumburgh, we've got 4,915 feet on runway 09er. We're expecting light winds from the southeast, so that'll be on our right as we come in, so it's like crosswind landing. After we've landed, unless we're very good and land, put it straight on the threshold, we'll probably have to backtrack, but if we are quick we'll be able to come off at Juliet.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike QNH 1020. Expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 09er.
Okay, that's us below 10,000 feet, so landing lights go on, seatbelts go on, and better reply to ATC.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is now turned on, so it is time
Expect
to
radar vectors RNAV 09er, landing runway 09, Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Negative.
We have begun our final descent. Your destination.
Oh yeah, you forget that they actually like you to say the QNH. QNH 1020, Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Please also store any carry-on items either in the back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Turn left. Heading 335.
Taking us even further west. Turn left heading 335, Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Negative. Turn left. Heading 335.
Turn left heading 335, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. I mean, would you get vectors for an RNAV approach? I don't know. You just should be given a direct to the initial approach fix. So they need to work on that. Now, I haven't been cleared lower, so I'll just stay at 9,000, but you know, really would like to get, so I'm going to pre-select 2100 feet, because that's the platform altitude I need to be at. Haven't crossed below the transition level yet, so I always get them the wrong way around. Transition level or transition altitude, which is 6,060, whichever it is. So we're still on standard barometer setting. Yeah, temperatures are all good. So our approach checklist, seatbelts are on, landing lights are on, altimeters are still standard. Cabin altitude, just check that we're depressurizing. Cabin altitude's at 1,000 feet. That's about right for the altitude we're at. Okay, approach checklist complete. Speaking of weather, yeah, it's just lumps of cloud sitting out there. There's a layer sitting at about, it's hard to say, maybe 6,000. We've got a layer above as well, but it's just broken. No, it's not really a layer. Sumburgh is off in that direction somewhere. Would be quite nice to get a bit lower and a bit more direct. It's definitely not an efficient bit of radar vectoring. $33 miles.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike, 21 miles from Vector_ILS_1, turn right, heading 0 for 5, maintain 2,800 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV runway 09er.
Turn right 045, maintain 2,800 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV 09er, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. So, 045 selected, IAS mode selected. 233 speed magenta, and we have, now that we've actually been cleared to descend, I will bring us out the standard barometer, and the QNH was 1020. There we go. And what we can do is a direct to save, execute that, and we'll go into nav mode, and that will take us directly to our initial approach fix as it is now. And it had me staying at 2,800 feet, whereas the chart actually is 2,100 for the RNAV 09er. Increase our rate of descent a little bit. Yeah, I think I'd like to try the BA-146. I understand that's a good airliner, well modelled.
Aircraft calling. Request not understood.
Yeah, we'll ignore that. There's a bug with BeyondATC where if you bind it to a key on one device, like your Alpha flight control, and it's got a button called button number 1, it binds the push to talk to all other devices with a button called number 1, and the Bravo has a button called number 1, and it's the same button I use to change the navigation display. So sometimes you end up doing the push to talk when you don't mean to. Okay, I'm going to increase my rate of descent. TSEV seems to be coming up quite quickly. Yep, definitely want to increase the rate of descent. So we need to be above 2,100 at TSEV. Just quickly flick screens, you can see that's me coming on to approaching TSEV on the chart. Icing is not a factor. The total air temperature is 14 degrees. Okay, I've engaged approach mode, which brings up the VFP armed. This is an RNAV approach, there's no ILS or anything like that. Okay, yeah, we were 1,000 feet. Okay, bringing the throttles right down to idle. It's activated the approach speed.
Yankee Mike, contact Sumburgh Tower 118.255. Bye-bye.
Contact Sumburgh Tower 118.255. Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Sumburgh Tower, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, RNAV 09er.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike, Sumburgh Tower, wind 130 at 4 runway 09er, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 09er, Logan 42 Yankee Mike. Okay, it's actually giving us vertical guidance now, so we should start to descend once this magenta box yeah, we are descending. Okay, that means I can put my altitude select to 3,000. Okay, I'm going to go flaps 15. As soon as we get below 160 knots, I'm going to pop the gear out. It doesn't look like we're going to see the runway until fairly short. So there's 157 knots, gear down. Going to put the power select to takeoff. And we're below 150 knots, so we can go flaps 30. Radar altimeter is alive. We have the field. So our approach speed was 111 knots. 630 feet is our MDA. Or DA. Watch speed. Okay, autopilot's off.
Approaching minimum.
So slight wind from the right.
Minimum.
Continue.
Minimum. 500.
Bit high profile.
$200. $100. 50, 30, 20. 10.
Okay, we didn't quite make it.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike, exit right at Juliet.
Exit right at Juliet, Logan 42
Ladies and
Yankee
gentlemen, we have
Mike.
reached our destination. The local time is 2:20
We'll do the back
p.m.
track.
and it's currently about
So
12
flaps can go up.
degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please
Cookies
remain
can go
seated
off.
until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
Let's use this turning area here. It's a nicer day up here than it was down in Edinburgh. Okay, our TRU can go off. Just confirm that. Yep, that's off. So backtrack down a bit and exit to our left now at Juliet. Could have a bit of ATC chatter going while I taxi in. Although it's all from Schiphol, I think. Okay, here's Juliet. Does like to float the ATR as well. Okay. Okay, I'll just over the old short line, so landing lights and strobes can go off. And what's happening with ATC? Okay, well, we can request a taxi to the gate now. Sumburgh Tower, Logan 42 Yankee Mike, request taxi to any gate.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Welcome to Sumburgh Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Any ramp for Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Logan for 2 Yankee Mike. Ramp 3 taxi via north, east, south.
Ramp 3 taxi via north, east, south. Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Negative. Taxi via north, east, south.
Taxi via north, east, south. Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
Negative.
Ugh.
Taxi via north, east, south.
Alright, sometimes you have
Ramp
to get
3 taxi via north, east, south, Logan 42 Yankee Mike.
stuff to get the co-pilot to do it for me. Right, where's this parking stand? Okay, I'll bring up that chart so hopefully you can see that. So we're up here on Juliet, so north, east, south, ramp 3. Okay. Well, better get on our way. I'll tell you the one thing I haven't done. I can tell straight away by the speed that I've taken off at my taxis. I haven't put the gust lock on, so I'll put the gust lock on. And that just locks the throttles as well as the flight controls, so you taxi at a nicer, more controllable speed. Hang on a second. That's not right. Yes, I want to go this way. Ah, I got a bit disorientated there. In fact, did I miss? I think I did. I'm actually on a runway now. Yeah. Landing on this runway, not in the direction I'm going, but towards it, is really fun because of that hill that you can see in front of us. You clear that by about 200 feet or 100 feet if you're on the glide path. Okay, let's end our runway incursion. And stand 3. It's pretty much here. Really sure how it works at Sumburgh. Let me just have a look. Yes, this is the parking stand here in this circle. Thank you very much. There we go. Appreciate it. Okay, we're in the parking spot. Almost put the parking brakes on. Yeah, our taxi lights are off. Okay, let's feather 1, or condition lever 1 to feather. Get the wheel chocks on, and we'll get a ground power cart, and we'll get ground power on, which is there. That's just a DC generator fault showing because we connected to ground power while the engines are still producing. So we can shut down that engine. That can go to feather. After landing, so radars on standby, flight controls are locked, flaps are up, trims are set, landing and strobe lights are off, anti-ice off, propeller's off, TRU's off. Parking brake is engaged, taxi and takeoff lights are off, condition lever 2 is in feather, beacon is off, transponder can now go to standby. Tail prop can go on. I'm going to shut down the other engine, and we can open the main door. Tail prop is on, and our seatbelt signs can go off. And we can let the passengers deboard. Flight time an hour and 10 minutes, which is a little bit quicker than what the OFP had, which I will just check. Just reviewing the flight. Landing rate was 214 feet per minute, and the G-force was 1G. Yeah, it kind of likes to float really on the. It's quite hard to butter a landing in the ATR. Here's our OFP, so well, we're supposed to be on standby 1320 Zulu, which is pretty much, we actually ended up on time, so we did make up some time with that reading that we got. And according to this, the flight time should have been so an hour and 22. So yeah, we definitely made up some time en route. Fuel. So the trip fuel was 791 as expected to burn. And that's interesting. So it says actually the time there, the trip time was an hour and 11 minutes, which is pretty bang on what we got. So fuel 791 was the expected burn. And what have we actually used? I'm not going to use the gauges on the ATR because they seem to be quite inaccurate. Realistic probably, but if you look at the weight and balance, we've got what's that? 582 plus 580. So it's 1162 kilograms of fuel on board, and we started with 1990. So 1990 minus 1162 equals 828. So we were expected to burn 828, we burned 791. No, we were expected to burn 791, we burned 828. Okay. A little bit surprised at that. Okay, what did it say here anyway? Fuel used, it's got us down as, that's 1380 kilograms of fuel used. Oh, I can't wrap my head around that. Right, okay. Let's just check the OFP again. What was our block fuel? Our block fuel was 1990. And we had 1162 left on board. So 1160, yeah, 791 burned. Yeah, okay. That seems to be, that fuel used seems to be really off. Not sure why. Maybe I didn't zero it correctly. Anyway, it sounds like all the passengers are off. Yeah, boarding is complete. There was an 80% satisfaction rating with that flight. That's not very good. I've had worse, but hey ho. Okay, so just to shut the aircraft down now. Our windshield lights can go off. Our fuel pumps can go off. Emergency lights can be disarmed. Oxygen main supply off. Just check the electrical panel. That's all good, that's all good. And our nav lights can go off, panel lights can go off. That just leaves the battery, which I'll actually leave on for now because it makes an horrible noise if you turn it off. Just hop in the drone camera. Yeah, not a bad day at Sumburgh at all. For the Shetlands, it's really good fun flying in here in the winter time in really bad weather. It's really can be quite challenging, get some really tremendous crosswinds. I had a friend who used to fly exactly this. I'm not sure if he flew an ATR or a SAB 340, but he was a captain for Logan Air for quite a few years before he moved on to other airlines. And yeah, he told me once about what he described as a functional landing at Sumburgh in a strong crosswind in the winter time. So it does happen with real pilots too. Right, thanks very much for watching the stream. I'm going to end it here. Everything seemed to work fairly okay. The screen switching was the main thing I wanted to test. Worked well. And see you on the next one, which might be a little while because I've got to go away for a few weeks.